Howdy boys and girls, Char here. This is going to be the first in a series that I am dubbing Chars Customs. This series is going to be a little bit different than what my other one was, the Ansible guides. So the Ansible guides are going to revolve around the live stream and then whatever we're kind of working on there, and then subsequent tutorial videos dictating different things that are done in the live stream. So like the last one we talked about nub removal, so thus we had the nub removal 101 video that came out. This, the Chars Customs, or in this case the Norse Packard Customs, is going to revolve around what I am working on for myself or commission work, stuff like that. It's the stuff that I'm doing off stream, and what I'm doing with it, I'll go over kind of some of the details on exactly what I did, little tips and tricks here and there. If there is anything that I've done or shown in any of these, either this one or going forward, that you guys would be interested in learning or having me do a tutorial video or a walkthrough or help guide for, put it in the comments down below, or put it in the Twitch if you're watching a stream, ask away there. But yeah, let me know. We will get it done. Get it done. So yes, Norse Packard. He is the pilot for the Gouf custom. So if that says anything about what I've been working on, that's right. It is the 1/100th scale master grade Gouf custom. I love Xeon kits. Xeon kits are always good. What have we got so far? Start out simple. I'll leave the Fiesta Resistance for what we got at the end. So I did a little bit of work on the arms so far. Nothing major. Haven't gotten around to sculpting or finishing these, but basically filled the seam line here. Filled the seam line here, where this top half and this bottom half were two separate pieces initially. There's no need for it. It just slides on there. But yeah, so filled it with sprue glue. Sprue glue. Filled it with sprue glue. Did that on both of them. Haven't touched anything else, just assembled nub removal. Something else I did do though is I replaced the hands. Oop, dropping pieces. That's tally number 1. So these are actually 1/100th scale hands from the not the Bale. It's the Iron-Blooded Orphans. One of the Iron-Blooded Orphans kits that I got. Either the Bale or the Vidar. One of the two. Anyways. But yeah, they're solid hands. They peg together. If I can get it apart. There we go. Yeah, so they peg together. So if you want to say hold... Where's the sword? My horse for a sword! So if you want to hold a sword, it does have the little slot in there. So you can peg it in there. Peg it in there. There you go. There, you can hold the sword. Yeah, then what I did is I just took the back of the hands for the Gouf, clipped and shaved everything on the inside, and I actually just glued them to these hands. Now what I'll end up doing in the long run, because the frame is going to be done in a gunmetal when it comes time to paint. But then this thing is also going to be dirty, grimy, nasty, gritty, everything else. So what will happen is I'll paint and prime the hand in one piece. And then I will paint the blues that are going to be for the back of the hand. After that's done, I'm not going to bother masking and taping and doing everything so that I can get all the nitty-gritty in this. I'm just going to hand paint the hand with some GW paints, the lead belcher. So yeah, that's how I'm just going to handle that. It's easier. I like the look of the hands. They're a bit more slender. These are the ones that came with it. Well, what's left of them. I tossed the other ones. But this is the same material as a polycap. Really bad material. It's great for polycaps. Not good for hands. Get rid of that. So yeah. Brought these in. Gives a nice sleeker look. Good to go. Yeah. So that's what we've done on the arm so far. Now we got the legs. Dance for me, dance. Alright, I'll pop these off here. The waist, I have not done anything on yet. Haven't gotten that far. Eventually, there's going to be some panel line scribing, metal parts, better detailing. Yeah. So that's what eventually will come with that. As for the legs, this is what the leg normally looks like. I did fill the seam lines here and here, again with spur glue. Just needs to go back and sand it down. The reason for that is this piece pops off. So like I said, it's not really a true inner frame. There's a little bit of stuff in there, but you don't ever see any of it. You see it here, but that'll never be seen because it's under the kit. Then you get a little bit here, where you got these little pistons you can kind of see under here, and the top of this. Well, again, that's going to be gunmetal. I'll just slap some paint on there by hand. It'll be good to go. But yeah, eventually this is all going to get filed down. I will add some panel line scribing to these. Same with this one. Add some panel line scribing to those. Yeah. And then fidgety kits. So yeah, knees, nothing done yet. This upper part here is going to be reshaped some. There's going to be some taken off the sides. Some panel lining there. As you see, this side of the leg, one solid piece. Yep. Got the little vent thing there. Here. So what I've done work-wise on this side, so obviously this is now completely off. And as you can see from this side, the little vent in the bottom is gone too. What's going to happen eventually, this is going to get, this is a ground type mobile suit, but even ground types have a tendency to thruster along the ground. So for the outside of these, this will eventually get a poly cap inside here. This will get shaved and done away with. Eventually this will get a poly cap. This peg will be reshaped. Then it will mount a thruster and thruster bill on the underside, and then it will go like this. So then it'll kind of stick out, and then you can see the thruster underneath. So yeah, that's what we're doing with the legs. The feet, I'm just going to add some plastic card. For anyone that doesn't know quite what plastic card is, it is a giant sheet of polystyrene. Used to make custom parts. Cut them out, file them, shave them, do what you got to do. But yeah, so then it'll get plastic card, make it look more armored. The top of the foot here is probably going to get reshaped a little bit. Yeah, so that's what we got for the legs. Okay. Onward and upward. I have everyone's favorite weapon, the Gatling gun. Gatling guns. Gatling guns are always cool. So far, I have filling the seam line on the drum here. I'm actually working on, I have another one of these drums, possibly modding it to fit on the back of the skirts. It's kind of an extra. We have a metal chain for the Gatling gun, which pegs in down here. Up here. Maybe. There you go. So then you have your nice metal chain effect. For the hand cannon, I will be adding a lens and stuff in there. I'm not going to do much with this. It'll get painted and detailed and stuff, obviously, but it is hidden. It's down underneath the shield because I do want to use the giant Gatling, because I'm tossing around an idea for any of you Endless Waltz fans of modifying it. So instead of one on this, there will be a drum here and a drum here, and then there will be two of these Gatlings on there. So kind of heavy arm style, or Serpent Custom if you're a fan of the Endless Waltz. But yeah, so that's all we've got in there. Nothing really super exciting yet. Nothing crazy. And backpack. Initially the backpack had a shield that goes at the top of it. Where'd you go? Obviously it covers the thrusters. Yeah. This piece here on the back used to wrap all the way around the thrusters. I didn't like that. I think it needs to be exposed. I want to be able to see all the bits and bobs and stuff in there. I do plan on adding a little bit more, fidgeting with the vents up here a little bit. Maybe to get some lights in there. Haven't decided yet. Cut them open, reslate them. Then yeah, obviously we have flexible hose, which will eventually have metal beads on them. Eventually, we got the metal thrusters. Those I just simply popped them out, cut off the peg, drilled a hole, glued it on, and then stuck it back in. So yeah, now for the Fiesta Resistance. This is what I have assembled so far for the Gouf. So yeah, I went through and keep losing my pointy. So yeah, I went through, filled the seam lines on the shoulders, because they were 2 pieces. Filled the seam lines there. These are metal spikes. I still got a bit of gap filling to do there. Back there. But metal spikes, I basically just took a hobby saw and cut off the old ones, filed and sanded it down. I went through and re-scribed all the panel lines, so like everything up through here where the joint is, everything around here, that's all been re-scribed with this tool here, or with my Tamiya one. Yoink. So yeah, re-scribed all the holes there. Added these 2 just small panel lines. Just kind of some separation in the shoulder pieces. These holes here are actually going to eventually have metal bits in them. So yeah, that's what's going on with the shoulders. For the chest, obviously you can see we've done quite a bit. From the initial, I cut out this piece, inlaid the mesh on the back. All that mesh is a aerator screen. So it's just a little screen that goes in the faucet of your sink. And basically all I did is I just cut it down to size, using a pair of wire cutters. Just cut that down to size. I did the same for the chest plates here. Instead of having the orange that's in there. Also on the chest, so I added this piece here in the center. It's actually 2 different pieces of plastic card, cut, added, and then I actually filled it with sprue glue, sanded it down and shaped it. Added the 2 little ticks on the shoulders, or on the sides of the chest, and then obviously custom panel lining there. I did add these hoist hooks, or hoist eyelets, on the sides, and those pieces I actually made from the elbow fins of the 1/100 full mechanic bale. The shoulders have these little fins on them. They got some nice angles, so I just took them off there and used that. I did extend the waist, so I left this here so I can show you guys. But this is actually where the waist used to end. It was right there. So it would stop here, and then it kind of rolled inward to the side there. And that's where the waist would end. I actually went through and I added 5 or 6 pieces of plastic card. I basically just cut out a giant square, drilled a hole, stuck this on there, glued it with a bunch of the Tamiya thin cement, rubber banded it all together so it was nice and tight, and then left it for 24 hours. Then I just came back with a pair of crappy nippers like these that aren't super delicate, and I went through and kind of cut off and rounded the edges to get it more in shape of what I needed. And then I went through and just filed it down with a large file, and then obviously getting gradually better and better and better. Can't really see it on camera, but there is like right there. Let's see if I can't focus this a little bit better. Yeah. And you can see there's still a little bit of that gap. You can kind of see the separation of it there. Right there. I'll just go back with some more putty and fill that in. Gonna redo, once that's all done and everything's sanded and back the way I want it, it's gonna be a little bit more panel lining here on the sides, so it's just not so blank. As for the head, I went through and put it together, filled the seam lines around the head, kind of helped fill in the seam lines for up here. I did add these little notches. It's hard to see in the gray primer. As you can tell, there's notches on the side of the helmet, right there by the fin. Just kind of gives it a little bit more shape, a little bit different texture. I did install an LED in the eye, and there is actually LEDs in the chest and in the vents, as you can see there. There you go. So yeah, and the coloring on that actually comes from inside, behind this mesh is a piece of clear plastic. And then you take clear plastic, you cut it to the size that you need. You then take a sanding stick, like so, and you scuff it up. Scuff it up good. And then yeah, that's actually what causes it to diffuse the light. And that was actually a handy little trick that I learned from the fellows over at the Model Makers Boom Hut on Facebook. Bunch of great guys over there. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. This project is a revisit for me. My first ever painted kit, way back, a whopping like 3 years ago, was a Masquerade Gouf custom. And yeah, so I decided a couple years later that I wanted to go back and revisit the Gouf custom and compare where I am now as opposed to where I started. And so to give you guys an idea of where I started, I have it here. I have what was thoroughly dubbed on Reddit the Master Grade Gouf Custom Ver McDonald. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, these are those hands I was talking about. Really bad. Really bad. And I didn't even get all the paint in there. I didn't even prime it all the way. You can still see all the blue under there. But yeah, so this is what I started at when I first started painting. So, but yeah, so I wanted to go through. I wanted to see just a good comparison. I love this kit. Like, it's a sweet looking kit. It's really great. Again, Xeon kits are some of my favorites. But yeah, I wanted to see where I was and where, kind of where I'm going now. So yeah, this is what I started with. This is where I'm going currently. So I mean, I'm not trying to go super different. I want to obviously keep the same aesthetics that the Gouf custom is known for, but I just wanted to make it a little more me, a little bit more modern times. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. That's what I'm doing. So hopefully, see if you can get him to bend backwards. There we go. Maybe he'll stay. Nope. No. Yeah, that's the other thing with this kit. The knees are super weak. There goes his hand. Super weak. That's power 3. Part counter 3. But yeah, so legs are super weak. It's good at standing. Not good at like kneeling, crouching. The elbows are weak. I'm gonna have to find a way to reinforce those so it can hold the giant machine gun, especially if I mod it the way I'm kind of thinking of. Definitely gonna need a bigger arm joint. But yeah, so that's where we're at. That's what I've been up to. Like I said, if you have any questions about anything you've seen that I've done, or just questions in general, pop them in the comments down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can, I promise. And yeah, I hope you all have a good evening. Build on, boys and girls. Build on. Wait! Alright, so there were some issues. I was a dingbat. Tried to upload the video last night. Started the upload. Laid down to go to bed. And then shut the computer off. So, the dropped parts counter is now up from 4. Yes, 4. Because I couldn't count during the video. Now to 5. 5 dropped. Alright, folks. Have a good night. Build on. Build on.